this is me doing another book review. This one's a little unusual. I got a pile here I'm going to go through. And it won't take long each one. This was He's Expecting by Arisake. I think that's what I can't claim to know the pronunciations. This is actually a lady's writing. Here, I just found out. Okay. This series I've known about 4 years. I went some digging through some odd places online, ran across this, but it was in Japanese, so I pretty much put it on the back burner. Not gonna do it because I can't read Japanese. And also, the unusual thing about this book is mangas. Well, for mangas, you want to turn the page, you go this way instead of the other way, and it's not color all the way through. Though, if I wanted to, because it's on the computer, I could probably copy-paste this and then do some coloring digitally, which would be kind of cool, but I would never, ever take credit for the artwork. No. Okay? It's just like some fun stuff. Anyway, I'm not going to do too many spoilers. Basic arc of the 4-book story. Okay, there's 4 books in it. All say He's Expecting 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. There's apparently workers to discrimination against women who want to start stories. Start a career or maintain their careers. And they are discriminated against. And put off, fired, whatever. And this woman the writer wants to address this by creating a world where men get pregnant too. Okay. Not everybody, just a low percentage of people, guys. And I don't know if it accomplishes that goal exactly. The story is not bad. Overall. I did have some trouble telling apart certain characters one from the other, but that was my personal issue, though. And probably you're not going to have... It's not like everybody, just 1 or 2. And if it were done in color, I would think I would have had a little less hard time with it. Overall, there's a little backstories, side stories in the back of some of these books. The last book is... Okay, here's what happens. Okay, the last book has the story of how the writer's experience with the actors that brought these books to life, because on Netflix, they did a story based on these 4 books. Okay, and until that's the story based on all these 4 books, which was all right. For a little while, I did have access to Netflix for a bit and HBO, so that was fun until I lost my my passwords. No, with permission of the owner of the account, of course, for a little bit until he decided he didn't want me to have on there anymore. But here, I'll just... There's a cover for that one. Anyway, I'm interrupting myself. I'm terrible at this thing. Anyway, when they did the HBO miniseries, then they also decided that they could also translate this manga series into English and I think French and possibly 1 or 2 other languages. I can't remember. And so I decided, I'm curious, I'll buy it. So I did. I bought them and I read them. They were okay. And I do recommend them, even though they're parts of it is impreg, I'm not super into impreg. Just once in a while, I think most of it's crap. So when I say this particular story in this genre is good, it actually is. Okay. Anyway. Life Force. It's been years and years since I read this. It is out of print. My copy has always looked this battered because it was in a classroom, junior high classroom, and this lady, this Collie, I think, or maybe it was in the library. They were giving away books, and I just brought this one home. It's basically this world gets discovered. There's no animal life on it. They start terraforming it. I think it's some plants there. They start terraforming it, making it a large nature preserve for all sorts of animals. They focus on the African animals, but I think they imply that there's more out there than different environments and biomes and whatever. And while they're doing it, they discover there's an alien species already living there, and they're influencing the animals, causing to behaviors like cheetahs eating grass and filling their bellies with grass and getting really sick because they didn't want them eating the other animals. Influencing the people as they try to communicate and understand each other. Eventually they do, and they make peace, and in fact the aliens of this world eventually decide that they're going to also be the guardians and caretakers of the species that they put there, the Terran species that are being put there. And I don't know, it was a decent story. You can still find copies on Amazon and possibly on eBay. I'm not 100% sure, but eBay sells pretty much everything. It doesn't come in audio. It doesn't come in anything other than battered paperbacks. That's it. Some various degrees are better. Some might be better than others. Decent. Okay. Freedom's Landing comes in all formats. We got paperbacks. We got paperback. I have the paperbacks and the audios, and I have one of the hardbound books too. I originally just got the written books, and this is before I really got into audios myself, and that was years and years ago. Basically, it all comes down to Catini took over Earth and started taking people out as slaves. There's resistance, and meanwhile, one of the main characters eventually winds up being dumped on this planet where there's a bunch of farming equipment that's operating autonomously. And there's like one Catini there who she eventually she teams up with. He helps her, the people trapped there, to adapt to survive with the information he has about that planet. The overall is just like, I guess one person says a kind of Robinson Crusoe kind of thing. I don't know because I never read that book. Okay, but anyway, they learn to survive, they thrive, they learn to uprise, they find ways of overthrowing their overlords. It turns out it's not the Catini, they're just some other parasitic species. Alright, that was kind of pulling all the strings. Anyway, overall the story's great. There is two inconsistencies in the plot. We got there's these creatures called rock squats. Initially in the first books they are these rodent-like things. By the end of the book series, they're somehow birds. We don't know why they swapped over like that. It just happened. Okay, that's a glitch. And then in one part of the book it says the aliens own the farmer equipment. Well, they said they're going to pull out. They're going to take everything, all their equipment away, let the people have their that planet. Right? Okay. Next book, they're still in there. Their equipment's still there. Like they never decided to leave. But that's the only two flaws. The rest of it's great. Everybody knows about Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Riders of Pern series. The best, most comprehensive review you're going to get on this series is from Examined on... Oh, one more thing. Audios on YouTube for this one series does not happen. Okay, I was looking for it, but interestingly enough, there is a video game based on this book series. And that was pretty interesting. It's pretty old and kind of clunky looking, but I did watch the first parts of it, and that was all okay. I just thought it was interesting they did that at all. Anyway, Examined is a channel on YouTube that does these books right here. Did a basic overview, really in-depth, fabulous. I totally recommend you check that out. They do come in all formats. Hardbound, paperback, audio, and even Kindle. You can find a lot of the series already on YouTube. So if you want to just sample it without committing to buying it, there it is. It's a very good series. And yeah, there are some issues that didn't age well over time. But, okay, this is the Powers That Be series. This is probably the second book in. Anyway, you can find at least the back half of the series. There's like 6 books in the series. I think the last 3 are available on YouTube as audios. Though they do come in all formats, and yes, they do come in audio on Amazon, as well as paperback, and of course, and hardbound, and probably like Kindle as well. Decent story about this lady who was supposed to be spying on this retired military. She's supposed to be spying on the people of this planet. Turns out, and then becomes an ally instead. And has a family there, and protects us. And the planet itself is sentient. So, and then influences the life there and everything. And people are really loyal that live on it are really loyal to it. So, that was a good series. Crystal Singer. Yes, I'm really into Anne McCaffrey. Okay, I have the audio on Audible for this trilogy. I have the books too. They probably come on Kindle. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Basically, the premise is this lady who was supposed to be training as a singer, then found out that she's not as good as, didn't make the top spot. So she could be doing she could still get some great gigs around for the second race and everything. But she is so upset she didn't get the top one. She ran away. Found this guy who was also a Crystal Singer, and he spent some time with him. Finds out he gets sick because he spent too long away from this planet, because he has a symbiotic life form that needs to be there periodically on the planet in order to recharge. She decides to become a Crystal Singer too. There's some memory issues, and here's an interesting thing. There's the Brain Bronze Ship series by Anne McCaffrey too, which I do recommend. And on the third book, there's a crossover. So you have a living ship, a brain ship on the last book in there. So it looks like a series crossover. I thought that was kind of cool. As time passes on, she develops the memory loss that inevitably happens when you get bonded with these crystalline microorganisms. But eventually she runs into another type of entity, and she gets her brain zapped by it. And turns out that gave her back all her memories. And she decides to retire from crystal singing and go into management, along with her longtime lover, who's also leading the place now. And that's where it ends. Well, I hope you enjoyed all these. It's probably a little overwhelming. And, well, have fun.